The Deus Ex series has always been synonymous with cyberpunk's social commentary. The ideas of altering your body to exceed its capabilities and the natural human revulsion at such offences to Mother Nature form the core of the series' tapestry. Now the fourth main title is on the way, leading on from the success of Deus Ex Human Revolution, and it seems like that theme of man versus machine has been turned up to 11. In Deus Ex Mankind Divided, you can expect to see all-out war between natural flesh and blood humans and the hated, segregated castes of the Augs, the cyborgs of the game's universe. Leading up the fight is Adam Jensen, your playable character from Human Revolution, now sporting a host of shiny new augmentations. With the ability to hack security systems, fire volleys of tasers, or even turn his skin into a bullet-resistant shield, Adam Jensen is becoming increasingly superhuman. This does of course raise a question. If Augs can teleport, deploy giant swords from their arms and deflect bullets, why are they allowing themselves to be ghettoized? Playing with ideas of prejudice and power is appealing to game developers looking to throw off the image of games as childish and simple. However, when your main character is entirely immune to such prejudice, on account of his ability to cut everybody in half in the blink of an eye, your story loses some credibility. The developers are aware of this, and they're doing their best to justify the use of terms like mechanical apartheid. But this is one argument that won't be concluded until the game actually hits the shelves. Doubts aside, however, the Deus Ex series has shown us that it takes flexibility in gameplay seriously, and does its best to tie that into the structure of its story. We've been told that we'll be able to go through the entire game without killing a single person, by using stealth tactics, conversation trees, and general subterfuge. In Human Revolution, even pacifist players had to kill some bosses, which hurt the player's feeling of freedom. It's not just interesting new non-lethal tactics we're getting though. Video games have always excelled at depicting combat, and Mankind Divided is getting its fair share of polish as far as violence is concerned. In Human Revolution, the combat could sometimes feel a little clunky, lacking the refinement of other franchises. But with the experience learned from their last outing, the developers seem ready to create a game that's a refined shooter as well as a quality stealth title. The graphical overhaul at hand is also staggering. When you try to put a game's story front and centre, you need the world to feel immersive, and with the tech of modern consoles, that can in part be achieved by adding complexity to the levels. Objects clutter the screen in a way that makes environments feel far more real than many other games can manage. Saying something feels cluttered might sound negative, but think about real-world environments, especially in situations of social unrest and segregation. That upheaval means debris, rubbish, it means clutter. Looking back to 2000's original Deus Ex, you can see how that detail was impossible. The sickly green-yellow palette of many of Human Revolution's levels also seems to have bitten the dust, and we couldn't be happier about that. Cyberpunk, as any Blade Runner fan knows, is all about powerful splashes of colour on dark, gloomy backgrounds. With harsh, incandescent bulbs and neon flares, Mankind Divided is moving closer to that dystopian ideal of visual presentation, instead of making everything look as if it's behind yellow glass. So, one thing is for certain, this is a bold game. Allowing fully non-lethal playthroughs, attempting for better or worse to tackle a controversial story, and aiming to paint worlds of a greater complexity than we've seen to date. At its core, it's a shooter, but if it can live up to its potential, Deus Ex Mankind Divided could be so much more.